What if I told you I used the same technique to create this chart, this one too, and even this one? It's just a super simple little feature that most people never get taught about in Excel. I just want you to click into your data series, and under your fill options for your chart, I want you to go to picture or texture fill, and then you can insert an image or take one from your clipboard, and it's going to be the fill for the entire section of the chart. So in this case, we've got a bubble chart. For the fill, I just took this little image here. It's a PNG, and I copied it. I just clicked into my bubbles, went over to my formatting pane here, and then hit clipboard, and it added it as the fill for each of my bubbles. And I literally did the same thing for all these other ones. They're just other little designs that I used as the fill for these charts. Just a few things you need to know to do this right. Make sure you're working in a square bounding box because a circle is equal width and height. So you're going to want something that's a square for it to fit into that circle. And remember, if you drop in something in the corner like this, that's going to get cropped out when you turn it into a circle, right? So just consider the shape that you're putting this image into. Next, you really want this to be a PNG file. That's because PNGs can have transparent backgrounds, so you're not going to have the repeating background color over and over again. It's just going to make things look cleaner and just look a lot better in general. Now, as you do this, you're going to notice that these charts sort of start to emphasize different things, right? This chart really is emphasizing the transition and overlaps, whereas this one, which has a non-transparent fill inside the shape, is more emphasizing the size of each individual bubble. And as you start to play with things like transparency and the layouts and patterns within it, you're going to notice that your charts start to emphasize different things. And you can have a lot of fun with this, right? You know, we made a little mountain we could use for this or whatever kind of imagery you want. It's not just bubble charts that have this option. Most other charts like bar charts, etc., have a fill option where you can drop in an image like this. But be careful when you implement these. You want to be really considerate of the layout and how it plots. If we, for example, didn't fill the full square layout, we wouldn't be having the top of our shape align with the top of our bubble, and it might be a little bit misleading to the audience. In a chart type like this, where it's transparent with the pattern, you notice these areas of overlap become the focal point, but they're not actually the areas with peak activity. The peak activity is to the right or to the left of those overlap areas. That could also be something that's confusing. So really think about what you're presenting when you use these. But honestly, with that disclaimer out of the way, it's also a huge advantage, right? You can use these to emphasize things in new creative ways and create whole new effects that communicate with your data, oftentimes even more effectively than you could with just like a standard bubble chart or whatever else you're using. Go ahead and give it a try. Let me know if you have questions or if you have any trouble trying to make these yourself. I can go into way more detail if you want in a longer form video. Thanks, folks. Bye.